So Fortnite is all the rage, but the question is, are people in the white supremacist community using Fortnite to reach out and recruit kids who are playing the game? It all starts with, there's a skinhead turned activist, his name is Christian Piccolini, and he was a white supremacist recruiter starting at 14 years old from 1987 to 1996. And he's like, this is ridiculous and terrible. He did this Reddit thread talking about it and naming the names of his organizations that he founded. And then this kid Atmos asked him a question. Did you see a lot of predatory behavior on poor and disenfranchised youth when you were younger in the recruiting methods the groups used? Was the common type of person who joined, or what was the common type of person who joined one of these groups? And asking specifically about like Fortnite and Minecraft and Call of Duty. And he said, absolutely, we sought marginalized youth and promised them paradise. Today they're using nefarious tactics like going to depression and mental health forums and in multiplayer gaming to recruit those same people. What do you think about this?
That makes perfect sense. I mean, a lot of people are online playing games. You know, a lot of people. That's a readily available pool of people that are influenced and already dialed into what's going on. Why not attack them? Oh, sorry, attack. Ooh, that's so nebulous. Why not hook them? Hook them there. And if they're mental and depression, we talked about that with here on Pop Trigger with women who were in a cult. Remember that? And that they may be suffering from abandonment, abuse. So they're looking for something to latch onto. And hey, video games, perfect. I'm in a community with people who likes the same things I like.
Yeah. What's particularly scary about this is that they are very smart about it. They start with like very subtle comments like, hey, what do you think about these two different races in this game? Don't you think one might be better? Just starting very, very small with super subtle things like that, and then growing it to a level where then this kid is fully in this cult or group or whatever you want to call it. So they're very, very smart about it, which is particularly scary to me, honestly.
What do you think, Grace?
Okay, so I do not doubt that this happens, that this occurs, and that people will prey on those that are most vulnerable wherever it is, whether it's gaming or in the real world, who knows. But I also feel like this story kind of reeks of like fear over gaming that we see so often, which is like people that are not maybe in tune with gaming. And I am such a person, I don't play video games, but oftentimes we'll sort of hear it as like because like parents can't understand it. It's the sort of story that my mother would share with me, being like, the white supremacists are on the Fortnite. And it's like, she doesn't really know what it is, but it's easier for her to make it so othered and scary and to tell kids like, oh, don't play, your cousins have been playing video games, he doesn't even go outside anymore. Is he becoming a white supremacist? And like to go to that extreme, which I think is diminishing of the sense of community that so many people find within the gaming community that has wonderful moderators that can uplift each other and that are not white supremacists. So I just want to be careful in how this is being reported because the headline is so easily shareable, but let's make sure that we're talking about this responsibly, this is definitely happening, but this is a small subset of the gaming
And I know a guy who wrote a book about like what leads teens to end up in weird situations, like being in a white supremacy group or being in a terrorist organization. And he went around the world interviewing people. I think it's called Children of Jihad. And like the main idea was like what causes someone to join a terrorist organization. But he went to like places like Brazil to find out how people in LA and places where people get in gangs. And there were a lot of different reasons, but one of them was like lack of anything else to do. And he's like, it's a weird definition of boredom. It's not like sitting around twiddling your thumbs. It's just like no structure to having something constructive to do with your time and a place where you feel you belong. And so the video game community is a place where you feel you belong. You can sit there and there could be a group of 14 people who watch the same person stream and you feel like you have a little place and you get in the Twitch community and you just start talking back and forth to each other. But it is another place where someone who forms that initial community, for someone who feels a little disaffected, to then steer it another way. That's something it is difficult to bring up. I don't know how to solve that.
That's a great point, Brett. It's very difficult, but from what you're saying and what Grace said, it's still the blueprint for how people got into gangs. It's still that people want to belong, and also there's a lack of involvement sometimes from parents as well. Because parents just let their kids play games for hours and hours and hours without intervening and figuring out like what exactly they're doing.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there a solution? Do you guys play Fortnite?
No.
I don't play Fortnite, no.
I haven't played a video game since Super NES.
Get Out.
That's like
Hey,
30
there's
of them.
nothing wrong with that. Okay.
Big fan of
You can't go wrong with
NBA
the
Live.
classic.
NBA Live, you
That's
play
my
that?
game,
Live
yeah.
95 or
Yeah.
like a recent NBA Live?
Recent, but also 95 too. That's fun.
Good.